Welcome to part 3 of our warm-up. This part is our chromatic octaves. And some people get confused about what the word chromatic means. Chromatic means that you're going to the very next note, be it black or white. So you're just snaking up or down the keyboard. And octaves means you're playing the bottom note of one and an octave up with your bottom note with the pinky, octave up with your thumb. So it's an octave when you play. We may play something at some point called broken octaves, and those would be when we play them separately. But right now we're calling it octaves, and you play the notes at the same time. What's good about this is it starts to help you develop a feel for an octave, because it's a very common interval used in all kinds of music. And if you see it and recognize it in the score, your hand will know what to do as long as you have kind of a bass note. For most people, their left hand is a follower hand. If your right hand does it, your left hand will probably follow along. And what we're going to do is practice using your right thumb as the leader of all the other fingers involved. So as you're going up with both hands, you're going to follow the notes with your right thumb visually. And peripherally, you'll see your left hand going along. This usually works. We have other things that can work. I often have people work on this with their eyes closed so they can just develop a feel for where those notes are as they snake up and down. But we're going to start out with one hand at a time. With one click, we're still on 80 on the metronome. I'll show you with the left hand. Get that. So just as a short demo, chromatic means that's an octave. The next note up happens to be a black note. We're on C, sorry, C to C. C, C sharp, D, D sharp. So this even helps one hand to get that feel for an octave. So we're first going to just start out at our bass, which is to do one hand at a time. And we'll just go up to C and then back down without repeating the top note. So the next step in this is to do both hands at the same time, but you're going to use 2 clicks for each note. So it gives you a chance to look at where you're going and get there. So let's try that. So both hands, play, click, play, click, play, click, play, click. I hope you can see that okay. We'll see it better in the next one. Some people have wondered about, they've studied something where you use 1 and 4 when you're involving a black note in an octave. That's more for repertoire. With this, we want to really just get the feel in your hand for an octave. So the next thing we're going to do is to try both hands playing with 1 click per note. And again, try watching your thumb for your location. I think that's probably the simplest thing to do, and it should work. So we'll just start and give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one thing you may have seen also when I'm doing this is with that little bit of space between the clicks, I'm moving. So in other words, you don't go. You're going move, 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 and so on. So you should feel like you're right on top of it by the time you get it. This is going to open the door for you to be able to do chromatic octaves twice as fast, and maybe even 3 times as fast. So, but let's do one octave one more time and practice moving in between the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. I hope that clears that up a little bit, and we will work more with the whole thing as time goes on. Thank you, and that's the end of this one. Bye.